Hi, welcome to Middle Grade Adventures. We're here at the Kingston Library. Each month we share with you a preview of a new middle grade novel. This month our preview is going to be The Bookshop of Dust and Dreams. This book takes place in New York, somewhere around Kingston, in 1944, towards the end of World War II. I was really excited about this new book by Mindy Thompson because it involves two of my favorite things: time travel and bookstores. I'm going to read chapter 5. No matter how hard I try, sleep doesn't find me. Papa's words circle around and around in my head. The magic is completed. It has more than one side. What does he mean? Why does it have multiple sides? And why can't we at least try to save Carl? Every time I shut my eyes, I see Carl's face. But he isn't laughing the way he always did. He's screaming in pain on a battlefield somewhere. I can't shake the image from my mind. Just before 7, as the sun starts to rise, I give up sleep. Sliding out of bed, I tug on my heavy plaid skirt and my favorite victory red sweater. My legs and arms feel heavy with exhaustion as I move out into the hall. James and Al's door is open a crack when I pass, and I peer in. James sleeps curled up on one side, but Al's bed is empty. He must be in the shop. Rhyme and Reason is dark, but the radio by the fireplace is on, a news report spilling into the empty reading area. The Allies recaptured lost ground today and fought back into the center of the Siegfried stronghold, less than 15 miles southeast of Aachen. Bent on smoking the Nazis, our boys continue to push forward. I weave my way through the shelves and see a soft light coming from the front counter. When I emerge from the fiction section, I find Al, sitting on the floor in the entry, his head in his hands, his back pressed against the door. He told Papa he would stop thinking about saving Carl, but why else would he be so close to the front door? He's thinking about using the magic again. I move closer, and it's so cold in the shop, I wrap my arms around myself. Al? He startles and looks up. The ends of his bangs hang over his eyes, and they're coated in something that almost looks like ice crystals. He swipes a hand through his hair, and they disappear. What are you doing up? He asks. It's morning, I say. Oh. He looks down at his watch. I must have lost track of time. Couldn't sleep? I ask. No. I wonder if he slept since we saw the telegram. Me neither. I kneel on the icy wood floor in front of him, and Carl's face flashes in my head again. His eyes full of fear beneath the rim of his army helmet. Heaviness fills my chest. I can't stop seeing his face. Al laughs, sarcastic and low. Really? I thought I was the only one who cared that he's dead. I stare at Al in horror. How could you say that? I'm the only one who wants to save him. He leans against the door for support as he clambers to his feet. I stand too. Papa said he would do it if he could, but the magic is corruptible, whatever that means, he scoffs. I look between the door and Al, who still has his hand on it like he can't let go. What's buzzin', Sunflower? Carl's laugh echoes in my memory, and it hurts so much, I press my hand to my stomach. Do you really think we can save him? Yes. Al doesn't hesitate. But the rules. Just because there's a way things have always been doesn't mean those things can't change. Al's eyes flutter and he rubs a hand over them. Carl's death, it's wrong, Poppy. I can feel it. Ever since we got the news, it's churned in my head. I can't sleep, I can't eat. He pushes a hand to his temple. I have to find a way to save him, even if it means using the shop's magic. Papa has been shopkeeper for 20 years. He knows more than us about the magic, about the council and the rules. My gut says we should listen to him, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to follow my brother too. I hear the scritch-scratch of the quote on the chalkboard changing, and I turn my head to read what Rhyme and Reason has to say. There are some forbidden things that should stay that way, no matter how much we want to break them. Artifice and relic. How would you use the shop to save Carl? The words are simple, but they send a shiver through me. Rhyme and reason brings customers out of time to us because it senses that they need light and hope. Al takes a breath. What if it can work in reverse and send me to Carl? You're going to step through the front door and hope it takes you to Carl? Once you're out there, how would you get back? Al reaches into his pocket and pulls out one of our pins. The tarnished gold gleams in low light. As long as I have this, I'll be fine. And if you find Carl, I'll convince him to come here and hide out until the war ends. The shop will keep him safe. It seems like such a small thing. Find a moment in time where Carl is alive, and then bring him back to rhyme and reason for safekeeping until the fighting is over. It could work. There is power to the shop. I feel it all the time. The magic is in the air around us. Is it so wrong to think that magic could save Carl's life? But we told Papa we'd take care of rhyme and reason while he gets better. He's trusting us. The rules are posted behind the front counter. They've been drilled into our heads, and the idea of breaking them makes my blood go cold. And we will, but it doesn't mean we can't try to save Carl. Al's eyes find mine, and I swear I see ice on his eyelashes again. We can figure it out together, if you'll trust me. Are you in? I stare at my brother, at the choice he's asking me to make. Following Papa and the rules and the council, or trying to use the magic to save our friend? Before I can answer, the clock behind the counter chimes the hour, and rhyme and reason turns the clock on the front door, opening itself up for the day. Within seconds, Bibine rushes inside without the twins. I came as soon as rhyme and reason would let me. Is your father all right? The door shuts behind her and the knob turns again, the calendar flipping as Catherine and Whitney step through the bickering about who got here first. I've been so worried about all of you. Catherine tilts her head to one side. The wide brim of her hat bounces from the movement. I brought some broth, and my mother used to make it whenever I was ill as a child. Whitney shoves a jar at me as more of the regulars who were in the shop last night arrive. We all shift, squeezing together to make room as another person steps in, and I end up shoulder to shoulder with my brother. Al tries to talk over them. He's going to be in the hospital for a few days. How can rhyme and reason stay open without him? Someone calls out. He knows just the books I like. A chorus of concern surges from the regulars, and I want to shrink from it, but I can't because Al and I are in charge here. I have to be brave now. I try to speak up. Al and I are going to take care of... It can't run without him. Vincent is the heart of the shop, Whitney interrupts, kneading his forehead in worry. Holy mackerel, would you cool it? Al shouts, making Bibine jump. Things are going to be fine. The light flickers above us in fear, and I look at Al in shock. We don't yell at customers, not like that, not ever. A heavy silence settles over the group. Papa would be horrified to see Al snap at them like that. I seize my courage and start again. I stop myself, take a breath, and rush forward. What my brother is trying to say is that we're going to do our best to keep things running while our father gets better. The light stops flickering, and the fireflies appear in the air around us, small orbs of light that zip in and out of the crowd, rhyme and reason comforting everyone. Papa always says, when trouble happens, head for the nearest bookshop. They exist for times like these, to bring us together in order to get through the hard things. They wait to see if Al will say anything, but he has a distant look on his face. Happy reading, I finish. If we can help you with anything, please let us know. The regulars slowly break up around us, uncertainty heavy in the air. Bibine gives my arm a sympathetic pat as she walks past. Al rubs his forehead again. I don't know what came over me. Their voices were buzzing in my head and I couldn't make any sense of it. James emerges as from the fiction section. You ready for school, Poppy? I've forgotten about school, but I promised Mama I would go today, even though so much has happened. Yeah, I tell James. Let me get my things. After we both put on our coats and school bags, we head to the back door. Before we can leave, Al stops me. Poppy? I pause halfway out of the shop. Think about what I said. His gaze is steady, determined. He's talking about his plan to save Carl. He wants me to jump with him. I'm not sure I can. I will, I say, but the words turn to dust in my mouth as James and I step out the door. If that sounds interesting to you, this book is available at the Kingston Library. It's The Bookshop of Dust and Dreams by Mindy Thompson. And stay tuned for more middle grade adventures coming next month. Subscribe to our channel and you'll never miss another one as they come through. Thank you. Happy reading.